The news of the moment, Ferrari is going to accept crypto payments for their cars. They have found through a quick survey that there are lots of high net worth individuals that have cryptocurrency. This means that now that they have cryptocurrency, they can do their payments in Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and all cryptocurrencies. What this means to the Ferrari company? This not means that they are going to need to open a crypto wallet. Actually, they have founded an alliance with Bybit. In other words, Bybit and Ferrari created an alliance. So Bybit converts the cryptocurrency into fiat money. So maybe, for example, if you want to buy a Ferrari from 2025, you pay 2 bitcoins, but actually the Ferrari company doesn't receive 2 bitcoins. Instead, they receive the lump sum converted with the Bybit service. In other words, Bybit converts this amount through a simple process, and in the balance sheet of the Ferrari company you have the 2 bitcoins convert into dollars. That approximately would be 150k dollars. In other words, Bybit is facilitating the payment methods of the Ferrari company. For example, we have to take in consideration that in the F1 Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton in the 2025 did a bad performance against Charles Leclerc. This means that Ferrari needs to make an innovation with their company. In other words, right now they are focusing on making new projects and launching different Ferraris like the Ferrari Valiere. In other words, this Ferrari is going to be very expensive, like $2 or $3 million, but there are a variety of payment methods like the cryptocurrencies that we were talking about. So, for example, if you are a high net worth individual, like for example a multimillionaire from the USA, you can buy a Ferrari Valiere with just 2 bitcoins, and Bybit do the whole process. In other words, Ferrari is targeting high net worth individuals that have cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, or even BNB in their crypto wallets. So Ferrari is trying to make a backup from that bad moment they have when Lewis Hamilton was defeated by Charles Leclerc in a competition. So right now they are trying to invest in marketing and facilitating the payment methods so they have more revenue. In other words, having more revenue in their company leads to a better profit and a better budget for their investments and brandships with different brands like Adidas or Nike that are patrocinating professional F1 pilots like Lewis Hamilton. So if you didn't know, Lewis Hamilton is one of the most famous F1 pilots, almost in pair with Max Verstappen, and he is like one of the greatest of all time. So Max Verstappen is trying to compete with Lewis Hamilton, but actually Max Verstappen is from another company. Lewis Hamilton is in a contract with Ferrari. In other words, they have the rights for the intellectual property and for all the clothes Lewis Hamilton needs to use. So Lewis Hamilton right now is focusing on trying to bring back the life to Ferrari, and Ferrari is also giving some support. In other words, Ferrari is investing in new projects. For example, the Ferrari Valkyrie that is rarely seen in the USA. Even multimillionaires have Ferrari Valkyrie, and straight up when they are in the streets, the Americans want to take photos with them. It's like a piece of art. It's a beautiful car. So basically, right now that Ferrari is accepting Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and BNB, gives more payment methods for their user and clients. So Ferrari is trying to open up to the whole world. As you may know, there are major exchanges like Binance, Bybit, or even Coinbase, where people can purchase cryptocurrencies from all the world. So for example, if you have problems trying to go into an exchange house and converting the currency of your country to USA dollars to buy a Ferrari in the country you are trying to immigrate, now you don't have these problems with cryptocurrencies, because almost all crypto platforms have a P2P service where people can exchange their local cryptocurrencies with USDT or USDC that are stable coins. So basically Ferrari is making the things easier, and right now people are using these ways to invest, to trying to facilitate the way to enter into the luxury market of cars, where there are different brands like Bentley, Ferrari, Porsche, Mercedes, or Audi. So basically right now Ferrari is opening up their service to the whole world. In other words, Ferrari has discovered that high net worth individuals also have cryptocurrencies, and they are trying to use this way in order to access more clients all over the world. So we have talked about the Ferrari Valkyrie, but there is also another spectacular model that is called Ferrari Purosangue. Actually, Ferrari Purosangue is unique in his species, and even this car is just arriving to different countries. So it's like a piece of art. It's like there's one per some countries, and in other countries like the USA, as you know, or Italy, because in Italy they make Ferrari. There are a lot of Ferraris, but actually in the majority of countries there is only one Purosangue per country. So basically it's a very special car, and now you can buy this car with Bitcoin, XRP, or even Ethereum. I highly recommend you invest in cryptocurrencies right now that you can buy some cars like Valiere or Purosangue. So I really hope you like this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We will see in the next video. Bye.